Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Doing something a little different today. Going to be playing, or watching rather, Dragon's Lair, the awesome coin-op classic. Awesome visually. Kind of a frustrating game, but so that's why I put it in watch mode, because I want to be able to talk about it. And I'm going to be reading from Collecting for Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. Just some nuggets from this book by the late, great Syd Bolton. Really nice guy. I never got to meet him in person, unfortunately, that I recall. Maybe he was at a convention I was at a long time ago, but we became friends online, just corresponding and collaborating on some things. I reviewed his Dragon's Lair book, and he was the owner of the Personal Computer Museum. Miss him a lot, just hearing from him from time to time online and seeing his posts. Great guy by all accounts, and a really important guy with computer game preservation, hardcore Dragon's Lair fan. So Syd Bolton is very much missed. Now personally, I remember Dragon's Lair. I remember when it showed up at the Land of Oz arcade in Hearst, which is a suburb of Fort Worth. That's where I grew up. And I remember walking into Land of Oz one day and seeing Dragon's Lair playing, and a crowd gathered around, and I could not believe what I was seeing. I could not believe that Saturday morning cartoon-like graphics, cinematic cartoon-like graphics, in fact, were in a video game. I was just absolutely starstruck, just dumbfounded by that. I would say starstruck, but maybe that's not quite the word. I was dumbfounded. I was amazed. I was enraptured. Whatever adjective you want to use, it was just amazing, and everybody was oohing and on. And there was already a player up there, a couple of players up there that could play through the whole game. It was really impressive to watch. And I remember it cost 50 cents to play instead of the normal quarter. That seemed like a lot of money at the time, as limited as my funds were, but absolutely worth it just based on the looks. And I quickly realized that I preferred watching the game to playing it because I was so bad at it. It's the trial and error and the exact time, the button presses. It's still fun. This is on the Wii, and I do play it from time to time on my Wii, and because it's a great version, and it's got a couple other Space Ace and Dragon's Lair 2 on there as well. Really cool collection. And so Syd Bolton, in his book, he has an introduction and everything, and he goes through, talks about Dragon's Lair for different consoles and some of the history of the game. And here's just a brief history that he starts off with. The arcade version is where everything got started. The concept of a branching choice game was originally conceived by Rick Dyer in 1979 using a cash register tape. After seeing the film The Secret of Nim, Dyer knew that he found the studio to animate his game. After teaming up with Don Bluth, Dyer found arcade maker Cinematronics, and the three entities came together to form Starcom, later renamed Magicom over a trademark issue. The original arcade game cost approximately $4,000 to dealers, very expensive for the time, and led to the increase in price from 25 cents to 50 cents for one play. So the book goes through here. It's got color photos, and it has a little information about all the different versions of Dragon's Lair in the arcades, and then the many home versions, such as for the Spectrum computer, Commodore 64, MS-DOS, and it's a really nicely illustrated book. And you can see that Bolton was a big fan of Dragon's Lair. He put, a lot of passion into making this book, and there's little mini reviews and just some commentary on some of the games. And the game was even ported to the Game Boy, which is interesting. And the NES version, which I played, is not the best. It's just they turned this, this animated game into just a run-of-the-mill platformer. But it's even less than run-of-the-mill because it's got really hard controls, or tough, bad controls, and it's a frustrating, difficult game. But still cool that it exists, and the box looks neat and everything. And it was on the Sega CD, which is natural, and the 3DO. Natural platforms, given that those are, CD-based platforms. It was on the Super Nintendo as well. Once again, a platforming game. 24 levels filled with obstacles. And let's see, he talks about Dragon's Lair 2 in the book, and it shows some different advertisements and things for the game. And it goes through and talks about a lot of the merchandise, which is really neat. And Dragon's Lair 3D, which I've never actually played on the Xbox, which is interesting. It says the Japanese version of this was made in low quantities and very difficult to find. The Dragon's Lair 3D was also produced for the GameCube, which is interesting. I need to pick that up. I've never actually played that one. I need to check that out. But it's funny, I'm playing the Wii version, and even though it's in watch mode, if you ignore the controller as you saw it go dark, if you just set the controller down, the game will go dark on it because she doesn't know you're playing. So, kind of a funny thing there. But anyway, it goes through here and talks about, it shows Dragon's Lair memorabilia, like signed photos, autographed posters, Dragon's Lair action figures that look pretty neat. Dragon's Lair, like I said earlier, also needed ads for Dragon's Lair. And just some cheap Dragon's Lair toys, crawling reptiles, sling darts, fantasy creatures, just those little blister pack things you'll see at, dime stores and such. Dragon's Lair t-shirts. And then there's a compendium, just a little, not really a compendium, but just some examples of Dragon's Lair articles. It doesn't really reprint those, it just sort of shows you, like the titles, and the print's really too small to read, but it just shows you a small example of articles. It was just kind of emphasizing how often Dragon's Lair was written about back in the day because it was such an unusual game. Different forms of media, and Dragon's Lair books, like arcade manuals, and even looks like some children's books based on Dragon's Lair, which makes perfect sense. Very visual game. And it talks about the first quarter. Stephen L. Kent's general history book says it includes coverage of Dragon's Lair's contribution to the video game industry across a couple of pages. That was the book that eventually became the ultimate history of video games. Now it also talks about other books that have covered Dragon's Lair, like Arcade Fever, Van Burnham's Supercade, and things like that. I don't see my classic home video games book in here. The second volume of which covered the NES version. Oh well, not a biggie. Can't remember if this book was published before that book was or not. Regardless, all is forgiven. Dragon's Lair posters, magazines. There's really a nice array of Dragon's Lair memorabilia published over the years. The game appeared on the cover of lots of different magazines, and it shows fan-made. This is really neat. It shows like fan-made items as well. A Dragon's Lair birthday cake. Let's see. Mini arcades, Dragon's Lair clock. Pretty cool stuff. Now, Fleer back in the day Fleer, the famous baseball card company, produced Dragon's Lair stickers and rub-off games with bubblegum. Would not eat that bubblegum today, but he's got pictures of the different cards, which is great. Dragon's Lair artwork cells. These are gorgeous. That would definitely be a great collectible, being an animated game. Now, I do have the Dragon's Lair lunchbox that he's got pictured in here that I got just recently at Lone Star Antiques, an antique mall near my house. I got it for 15 bucks. A no-brainer there. I think it was underpriced. I think it should have been, it's a little rusty, but it should have been at least 40 or 50 bucks.
Save me! The cage is locked with a key. The dragon keeps it around his neck. To slay the dragon, use the magic sword.
And the lovely Daphne. I love it. But the book has some write-ups at the back by different collectors talking about Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, including Alan Pinion, who said he first played Dragon's Lair at Big Al's Arcade when it came out in 1983. He walked away with a low score of 147, the lowest possible with 3 lives the first time he played. But he continued to work hard until he was able to beat the game. And of course, Syd Bolton has commentary here at the back with a photo of him. And it says he has what is quite likely the world's largest collection of home version of Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. Talks at the back of the book, it talks about Dragon's Lair emulation, which is neat. And there you go, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. I was just going to say at the end of the book, it also talks about just different other Laserdisc games like Mad Dog McCree, Brain Dead 13 is in there. Mad Dog 2, Cobra Command, and things like that. And anyway, it also talks about You know, I'm a big fan of Don Bluth animation, and there's a little section of there. You know, if you like Dragon's Lair, you're going to want to watch An American Tail and Secret of Nim, All Dogs Go to Heaven. One of my favorites, Titan AE. Absolutely love that film. All right, guys, thank you for watching this gameplay. I would say gameplay video, but it was more a game watch video. Not a game and watch video, a game watch video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. RIP, several years back, Syd Bolton. Really good guy. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in another video. Let me know in the comments if you played Dragon's Lair back in the day and what you think of the game. We'll talk to you guys later.